Tonight on Newsbeat, new developments in the case of a recent death of LSU student Madison Brooks. How students are reacting to President Tate's call to action.
To be completely transparent, it feels like not enough is being done.
And how LSU students are trying to hold LSU officials accountable in multiple ways. All this and more, Newsbeat starts right now. Tonight on Newsbeat, fans are mourning Migos rapper Takeoff after he was fatally shot this morning.
Possible discharging firearm or shooting, not sure which. And just until at Dallas, all I heard gunshots and people screaming.
With Election Day just 1 week away, we'll tell you what you can expect to see on your ballots. And LSU Parking and Transportation is cracking down on parking in the retail lots near Nicholson Gateway.
All this and more, Newsbeat starts right now.
Tonight on Newsbeat, learn what LSU is doing to combat cybercrime.
Find out how one LSU alumna made a major discovery.
And see if LSU students are prepared for natural disasters as tornado season approaches.
All that and more, Newsbeat starts right now.
Tonight on Newsbeat,
find out how you can get free professional clothing for your job search.
Learn what proposal could give Louisiana teachers more money.
And what beloved gaming console is getting shut down for good.
All this and more, Newsbeat starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Aria Pons.
And I'm Haley Kennedy. Thanks for joining us for this special edition of Newsbeat. There have been several developments in the case surrounding the recent death of LSU student Madison Brooks.
Before we continue, we want to warn you that this information may be upsetting to some viewers.
4 individuals have been arrested in connection to the case, 3 adults and 1 juvenile. Brooks died after being hit by a car on Burbank Drive early in the morning of January 15th. Authorities say Brooks was raped prior to her death. 2 men were charged with third-degree rape. Third-degree rape means that the victim is incapable of resisting or understanding the nature of the act due to being incapacitated. Medical records indicate Brooks' blood alcohol content was 0.319, which falls in the range of alcohol poisoning and loss of consciousness. 2 others were charged with principal to third-degree rape. For those who may not know, principal to third-degree rape means that the suspect were present but did not take part in the crime.
Bond hearings for 3 of the 4 suspects were held just a few hours ago. They appeared in front of 19th Judicial District Judge Brad Myers. Kaysen Carver's bond is set at $50,000, Everett Lee's bond is set at $75,000, and Kayvon Washington's bond is set at $150,000. The attorney for 2 of the suspects says a video taken that night shows Brooks was coherent and knew what was happening the whole time, that she got out of the car and told the suspect she was getting an Uber.
Brooks and the underage men were accused last seen drinking and leaving Reggie's bar in Tigerland. Today, the ABC suspended Reggie's alcohol license. The Louisiana Alcohol and Trade Commission is working with Baton Rouge ABC and police to investigate and share evidence regarding the case. This emergency suspension will immediately stop the service or sale of alcohol beverages at the bar. This is not the first time the ATC has pulled the bar's license. A BRPD sting operation in 2017 led to the arrest of 37 people, several of which were underage drinking. An emergency hearing will be held next month to determine if any penalties will be imposed on the bar.
LSU students, faculty, and staff continue to react to the steady flow of information surrounding this case. Following the announcement of yesterday's arrest, President Tate sent out an email to all students calling for an action against underage drinking, as well as calling on the entire Baton Rouge community to join in the effort in making the community safer. Tate said, quote, "One place to target our attention is the very place where this encounter began." President Tate's email has received some backlash from students who feel that the LSU administration is focusing on the wrong issues.
LSU College Democrats and Feminists in Action put a statement condemning President Tate's email.
We just want this to be a process that is beneficial to the whole student body, a process that really gets at the heart of what actually happened here, which is the rape culture that is prevalent on this campus and in the greater community, where too many times there are scapegoats given, such as alcohol in this case, to what actually occurred, and what actually occurred is disgusting.
As details of Brooks' case continue to unfold, multiple sexual assault victims have started sharing their stories to spread awareness and prevent this from happening again. One LSU student, Brianna Edwards, says it's disappointing that female students can't feel safe in environments that are meant for having fun.
You're never 100% safe, like ever. And I know it's hard. You want to go out and have a good time. I just want to go out and have a good time, but you can't let your guard down. And that's an unfortunate, truth that we're going to have to accept as women.
Baton Rouge Mayor President Sharon Westenbroom's office tells Tiger TV that the city is making improvements along Burbank to reduce the number of pedestrian-related accidents. The incident involving Madison is unfortunately one of many. Burbank was once a rural highway, but new developments have created new problems. Today, Communications Director Mark Armstrong outlined a new plan to address these concerns. The upgrades include a multi-use bike path and improving bus stop visibility.
Is installing a traffic light on Burbank at Pelican Lakes, and that would also add lighting right there at the intersection, so it adds more visibility.
Maddie Brooks was hit and killed by a car at that Burbank and Pelican Lakes intersection.
Unfortunately, situations like the one involving Brooke are not an uncommon issue on and around campus. The Louisiana government is taking measures to prevent further danger after someone has been a victim of sexual assault. Reporter Addie Loftus is in the studio to explain a new bill that hopes to save lives of residents.
Thanks, Haley. A new bill was put in place to give victims of sexual assault more resources that they might need following the crime. If you or a loved one has been a victim of sexual assault, contact 1-800-656-4673 for help and care. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Addie. Strong storms are expected to move through the area later tonight.
Sydney Goldberg is live from the PMAC with a look at the current conditions and what to expect.
Yeah, Ari and Haley, I'm currently outside the PMAC right now where light rains are off and on and winds are already starting to be strong. It could get stronger as these storms from the west approach our area within a few hours, where we could see some potential severe weather, the main threats being damaging winds and some tornadoes. So make sure you have your emergency alerts on your phone ready to go in case a warning is issued. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Sydney. We'll see you back in the studio in a bit for the rest of the week's forecast. Don't go anywhere. More of this special edition Newsbeat when we return.
Good evening and welcome to Newsbeat. I'm Mattia Carroll.
And I'm Jillian Elliott. Thanks for joining us.
Police in Nashville are digging into the background and motivations of a former student who entered an elementary school and opened fire, killing 3 children and 3 adults. Police say the first call came in at 10:13 a.m. Monday, and the shooter was dead 14 minutes later. Police received surveillance video showing the moments the shooter, identified as 28-year-old Audrey Hale, arrived on campus and opened fire on an entrance. Police say the former student executed a planned and targeted attack.
Reporter Miguel Paredes Reyes is live to explain how 2 of the adult victims have connections to Louisiana. Miguel?
That's right, Jillian. One of the adult victims was 60-year-old Dr. Catherine Kuntz, the head of the Covenant School. Dr. Kuntz attended University High Lab right behind me and studied at LSU. I spoke to one of Kuntz's former teachers and tennis coaches who said she was one of the best students and athletes she had ever taught.
She was spunky, and she was opinionated, but she had a kind heart, and she was a fiercely competitive tennis player. She was just a wonderful person and good friend to people, and I think she always had a strong faith, and I know that her family and close friends are going to miss her dearly.
Another one of the victims was 61-year-old substitute teacher Cynthia Peak, a native of Leesville, Louisiana. Peak spent most of her youth in Vernon Parish before her family relocated to Shreveport. For Tiger TV, I'm Miguel Paredes Reyes. Back to y'all in the studio.
Thanks, Miguel. Nicholls State University is investigating an assistant professor after receiving multiple complaints about his behavior with students. Assistant Geography Professor Joseph Takash was suspended on Saturday. Students claimed Takash asked them to let him paint their faces in exchange for grade boost or payments. Takash claimed it was a part of his curriculum in cultural geography, but admitted on his personal Reddit page to using the activity as a way to satisfy a face painting fetish. We will follow the story and bring you any important updates.
Even though the weather wasn't great today, that didn't stop the purple and gold from going out in style. The LSU women's basketball team is heading off to the Final Four. Just a couple hours ago, the team departed to Dallas for their first Final Four appearance in 15 years. The Lady Tigers will square off against #1 seed Virginia Tech on Friday night at 6 p.m. with a spot in the national championship game on the line. Louisiana lawmakers are making a big investment into LSU's vet school in hopes of nearly doubling admissions from 120 students to 200 students next school year. Reporter Sumner Bradley learned how this investment could make a difference across the country. Dean Garden says that the vet school is hiring more faculty and staff in order to meet the needs of a larger class. The money will be used to renovate existing classroom spaces and create new ones, as well as make improvements to the school's surgical training center. If you were on campus this morning, hopefully you had rain gear.
And if you want to know what the rest of the week looks like, Sydney Goldberg has your weekly weather update next.
Good evening and welcome to Newsbeat. I'm Aria Pons.
And I'm Haley Kennedy. Thanks for joining us.
A story that many people in our community have been following is seemingly coming to a tragic end. Nathan Millard, a 42-year-old man from Georgia, came to Baton Rouge on a business trip late last month. Millard was last seen on February 22nd at a local downtown bar. Authorities found Millard's body Monday morning in a vacant lot near Scenic Highway. After finding the body, Baton Rouge police turned the missing persons case into a homicide investigation. But today, Millard's family says they have been told he likely died of an accidental overdose. Investigators say there's a possibility that Millard was with others when he overdosed, and they may have moved his body to another location. We will continue following this story and bringing you the latest updates.
Louisiana now has a Democrat in race for governor. The election will be held in October of this year. Sean Wilson, the former Secretary of Department of Transportation and Development, announced his candidacy Monday. He's the first prominent Democrat to enter the race against 4 prominent Republicans: Attorney General Jeff Landry, State Treasurer John Schroeder, State Senator Sharon Hewitt, and State Representative Richard Nelson. Earlier today, Governor John Bel Edwards announced that he will be endorsing Wilson in his campaign.
Every year, thousands of students enrolling in college are asked to give private information to their university. The expectation is that their information will be safe with these institutions, but what happens when the school's database is under attack? According to an Emisoft analysis in 2021, at least 44 major universities were reported instances of cyber attacks. Hackers are becoming more common, and access to personal information is extremely profitable. Colleges and college students are becoming major targets because hackers can get thousands of people's information by hacking into one major database. Henry Overton, president and co-founder of Turnkey Solutions, explains how a data leak can potentially affect students decades later.
Data that hackers are trying to get to for colleges will never expire for a student. So if a hacker steals that piece of information about you today, 20 years from now, they can still use it against you.
Overton says it's important for students to protect themselves as much as possible by regularly changing passwords and being cautious when sharing their data.
Whether you are searching for a job or an internship, it always helps to feel and look your best. LSU will soon be offering a new program that can help you get ready for that interview. Reporter Sumner Bradley spoke with LSU student government on how they are putting fashion forward next semester. Donations for tailored tigers are being accepted now. You can find the donation boxes in the LSU Student Government Office, the LSU Alumni Center, and the Residential Life Office in Grace King Hall.
After the break, Sydney Goldberg has your Tiger TV weather report. She'll break down the potential record-breaking temperatures we can expect later this week.